Hey there, and welcome to this video on mesh quality and mesh manipulation in OpenFOAM. So here we're going to work in this simple case. So I just want to show you now how to check the mesh quality in OpenFOAM, how to do some manipulation, visualize some stuff. Okay, so this is basically what we're going to do. So if you download your videos, okay, you're going to find this folder WinBody. Here as usual you will find the scripts, know how to that will generate everything automatically. Remember that we're working in OpenFOAM 12, so let me open these three scripts. So basically we're going to convert a mesh, we're going to do some manipulation, and then also to do some symmetry. Okay, so we have half the airplane, how to mirror mesh, so a little bit mesh manipulation. So the mesh was generated using Fluent. Okay, so we have it in that folder, and let's do the first step, okay, which is the script one. Okay, the first script. So look at that in the script one, you have here all the steps. So first, clean everything. As I mentioned, we're not generating this with snappy blockMesh, so this is just a conversion. You can easily convert. Just to mention that if you are converting from Fluent or any other external tool, usually you need to save the file in ASCII format. So this mesh has been already saved in ASCII format. And then checkMesh. Okay, we use checkMesh to check the mesh quality, and then this is to do some conversion. So let's first run here the first step to do the conversion. I'm not going to do these things automatically. Load OpenFOAM 12. Remember we're working. So if you want to run everything automatically, just go run mesh. Okay, and it will do everything automatically. Okay, so the scripts are always linear. And here you do your conversion, see that you have your mesh quality, you have everything. Just mention something, when you check the mesh quality, OpenFOAM is not going to repair the errors. It's only going to report what are the errors. Then it will be up to you to try to fix this by remeshing or using some mesh manipulation technique. Okay, so I just mentioned that. Let me go here and let me clean phone clean tutorials. And let me redo here. So the first step, convert the mesh. So the mesh is located here, and you put it here, and there you go. So this is a very neat tool I really like. I use a lot the meshing tool from Fluent, and it recognizes all the patches and everything. Okay, then the next step is checkMesh. Okay, so if you run checkMesh like this, paste, it will run, and then it's going to tell you, okay, you have this error here, and then you have this error here. Not error, that warning. So it's up to you to fix that. But how do you visualize those errors? So usually to visualize those errors, those cells, here it will create a folder called sets, no? But attention, from OpenFOAM 12 or 11 maybe, it does not create those sets automatically. In older version, it will create it automatically. It will create here the sets folder. So to do that now, you need to add this option, write sets and write surfaces. So it will write any faces or any point sets and so on. Okay, so remember that always you can put help and you have it there. So always you have you have commands. Just try to interrogate to see the options that you have there, and you have it here. These new options. Also, you can change the threshold of orthogonality, whatever you report. So let's use this option. Okay, put it there. And now nothing changed. It will run in the same way, but now as you go here, see that you have the set folders. So in these files, which are human readable, okay, in this case I will open because they are small files, but if you have 100 million cells mesh, be careful, okay? So see that it's telling you the points and whatever, there is some connectivity. There is nothing that you need to know about this one, okay? Or if you want to understand better, you need to know how things are linked and the tree structures and how you call coordinates and so on. But you only know that you have when you use points and you have no orthogonal faces. But when you do this also, see that it will create a folder called post-processing automatically. Here it will save in format BTK those points. Okay, the failty checks, and now you can visualize that. So let's do it. Okay, so and I really like this. Okay, this new option is OpenFOAM 12 because previously you need to convert the dataset. So you have here, and then you need font. You use font to VTK to convert this to VTK. Now it's done automatically. Okay. However, I will show you that second option. So you go here. This is our domain. Let's do some selection here. And I want to see only the airplane here, fuselage, nose, wing, and that's all. And this is what we have. Okay, so see that it's symmetry. We have half the airplane. It's not a perfect, beautiful mesh. By the way, let me put symmetry here. You will see that it can be done much, much better, but it's just to illustrate, no? Okay, there is no boundary layer, but nice. Okay, so basically I want to visualize the faulty cells. So basically now you load your mesh and then go open, and then here you have the BTK, open the BTK, so unuse points, apply, and there you go. You have your unuse points. Let me go here. So these unus points, I don't recall like when I generate this mesh. I did it in purpose, but I don't recall what workflow I follow, but are points that are not used, okay, by the mesh. So safely, you can erase those points, and we're going to see how to do that, okay? And then we can load also the non-orthogonal faces, okay? And see here that these are all the faces that has no orthogonality. As you recall, it was something 86. Okay. Again, this face is attached to a cell, so you can do some mesh manipulation. So that is the next thing. So in that mesh manipulation, I can erase these points, and also I can go ahead and erase these cells. That is going to eliminate that error. But however, the mesh, as you can see, it's not a pretty mesh. But remember, sometimes you have very, very small cells. You can do that manually. Okay, the next step, okay, so this is the way I recommend you to do it. Automatically create the BTK. The other option is use the command form to BTK. So basically this one, okay, as usual, form to BTK, and you have the help there, and you have some options held. Also, you have phone info I recommend to use, and I've used that phone info ops phone to BTK, and it can give you a lot of information, what is happening, and so on. Okay, so basically here what you're telling, convert the form for OpenFOAM format to BTK. What do you want to convert? I want to convert a face set. What is the name of the face set? This one. How do I know that? Because here you have the sets. So unuse points and non-orthogonal. So basically, according to what you have, you can have different elements there. You just put the name and you convert it, and you're going to have a folder there with the name BTK. And just to show you here, put it here. And there you go. So you have your folder BTK, and then you open the BTK file. Okay, exactly the same as with the previously. Okay, so my advice, just use this as your standard practice. So this is how we visualize. So I hope it was clear. Okay, so basically it was this same stuff. Okay, you can change the color. Okay, I didn't change it, but so now the next step, now that we visualize, we check the mesh, we visualize, let's do the second. But what about if I want to modify my mesh and I want to eliminate, no, faulty sets? So here, conversion with checks and so on. So let's see this step. So you have toposet. Toposet is a little bit tricky. Okay, so this is to do topological manipulations and so on. So let's see that we're running this step here. Toposet 1. So basically what we're doing here is this is a little bit convoluted. Okay, so actions. Basically, read a cell set, give it this name. What is? It is a point to cell. Remember, now what I want to do is to remove the point sets. Okay, so I know that is a point set, source info, set. Okay, so these are standard keywords that comes from Topose. So probably, I think it would be a good idea to do a video on this, but you can find more information online. Uh, I know the set name is your news point. So remember, you go here, your news point, and auction any. So in this new cell set, it will put those points. Then the next step, I will invert the solution. And this is critical. I recommend you to do these steps, to do each step manually. Okay, so you can comment everything and then do the steps, open in ParaView and see what is happening to understand better. But here I'm doing now a selection inversion. Okay, so I inverted my selection. So here I selected just the news points. Now in new cells, I will have all the external points. It's a selection inversion, okay? So let's run this step to see what happens. It's this one. Okay, so I did my selection inversion. So if I run checkMesh, nothing will change. See that you still have the news point. I haven't done anything. I just selected sets. And look at that, you have it here, new cells. This is my selection. So open this one. And if I open this one, see that, remember that I did the inversion. Now I have all the external points. Okay. If you don't do the inversion, when you open this one, you will have exactly the same of your news points. Okay. So now what we do, the next step is subset new cells override. So this subset mesh, again, for an info, subset mesh, and you will see what it does. So select a section of mesh based on a cell set, okay? And then it will modify that cell set. In this case, it will remove. The mesh will subset all points, faces, and cells needed to make a subset. Okay, it will remove. So remember that I did a selection, but in this selection that I did inversion, I don't have anymore those points, the unus points. So if I go like this, I put here, and now I run checkMesh. Here I won't have anymore that error related to unus points. You see that it disappeared. And in theory, you can do the same here with no orthogonality. So we know that we have those faces. And we're going to do something that I don't recommend to do, at least in this case. So see that we have now a topo set here to, let's open this file. So pretty much it would work like the others. So now I'm going to select, okay, so type cell set, new cells, face to cell. I know those are faces, the name of the faces, very important, use the option any, always. Then here, I add to this new, okay, I added those faces, okay. So probably this step is not necessarily, I will need to check because here you already created this one. And I think it added this one, but here you add it, okay, again. And now do the set inversion. So when you do the set inversion, you're getting all the external faces minus the selection, okay? And now here, I gave it a new name, okay? So, I don't know, here, cell set, new cells, cells. Okay, I created a cell to cell of this one with the new cells, okay? These are the names, okay? And that's all. So if I run this case, this step, bam, 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 will be this step here. Copy, paste. So let me go back to constant, okay? Here, okay, I will have that cell, okay, I don't recall, okay, so it should have the cell created added automatically in a region. So now let me run this subset mesh here. So this will do the subtraction. Okay, see that it created this new set there. And now if I run checkMesh, the error disappears. So basically what I did is selection, remove, and that's all. Okay. In the process of doing so, okay, here's where I think I have that modification, but in any case, in boundary also be careful that here you have the name of the patches that I mentioned in a previous video. So remember, you can change the name and also the type. I have the new mesh here, okay, and see that it created this new phase here. So now I have 10 sets, blah, blah, blah. This operation created this. Whatever it removed, put it there. So let's see what we have there. So we're almost getting to an end here for Paraphone. So I know this topos can be confusing. What my advice is run one step at a time and you will get an idea what is happening. So run this step, open part of view, visualize. So see that in that new cell set, this one, if I open, see that you have this is okay, and the win. So basically now this is what you have. You remove the cells, you don't have any more the error, but this is your mesh. So physically this is not realistic, but now imagine that that cell or that group of 10 or 20 cells that is giving you problems, it's very small. It's a perfectly valid operation, okay? I do it, not very often, but I do it, okay? And it works. Okay, so then see that you have this name. Okay, you can change it. Also here, if put in internal, this have to be wall. So do your modifications and then you call it, I don't know, new wall and so on. Okay, so remember that do not change these two keywords. The rest can be changed. But here, as you keep reading this file, see that here you have some steps to do the renaming automatically. So using the utility font dictionary, go change that. So let's do it. And then using set, I'm changing this one to the other one. Paste. Okay, and then the last, check the mesh quality. Paste. And see that your final mesh, no more unused points, no more no orthogonal faces. And if you open here, see that the renaming was done here. New fields, wall, everything okay. So there you go. Easy steps how to do mesh manipulation, okay? And just to end here, to mirror the mesh, recall that the mesh was now symmetrical, so you import and then you have this utility mirror mesh. Just to point out that that utility mirror mesh will read another input file, this one here, and basically here just you only need to give pointer normal. Base vector, normal, and that's all. So let's run that one. Run mirror. Obviously, you need to know where do you have the location of that plane, that symmetry, the normal, and so on. And there you go. You have the mirror. So now if I open there, this mirror, is you run checkMesh, you're going to have the same error, so you can do the manipulation, so on, so there is no problem. So let me go here, no, and there you go, you mirror your mesh. So you need to do diffuse data selection and so on. And voila. So basic mesh manipulation, I think these are quite nice tricks. However, do not abuse these tricks. Be careful, okay? Especially removing cells. But yeah, you have here a good starting point to do some checking the mesh and doing some repairing your mesh. So thank you for the attention. See you next video. Bye.